it's happening again for metals, and in 2026, I expect the prices of gold, copper, and silver to keep going up. So I want to go talk over exactly why this is going to happen, most likely, and also go over the analysis of all the other features. My name is Eli. I'm a professional options trader. So let's begin with gold and silver. So there's still a continuation of an uptrend. Volatility for silver is pretty high, and for gold is relatively low. And obviously, there's a critical reason for the price to increase. It's lower interest rates. We are expecting more cuts in 2026, and obviously, precious metals demand. So these things kind of go hand in hand, and we can expect prices to go up and up and up. So these news are pretty critical. So for now, I don't have any position in mind for gold. For silver, possibly. The thing is, it's just an all-time high after an all-time high, and I already have a position on copper. So they're pretty correlated. Well, usually not, but now they are. So I don't want to open two correlated positions at once. But if you look at copper, it's kind of the same thing. It's an uptrend. Volatility it's good. It's not great. It was much better. I already have an open position on it, short puts, and there are a few reasons for the price to increase. So obviously interest rate cuts, and now there are multiple mine disruptions and demand due to possible tariffs in the middle of 2026. So there are no critical reasons for the price to decrease, and the news are critical for the upside. And like I said, I'm currently in a position, so I don't have anything else to add for copper. Look at crude oil. Price has been drifting like lower to the absolute bottom of the massive side trend has been trading within. Volatility is okay, it's not great, and the reason for the price to increase is interest rate cuts and geopolitical risks, like the situation with Venezuela. Now, there are also a lot of critical reasons for the price to decrease, which is why the price has been going down mostly. So there's an ample global supply, which is expected to hit the markets, in 2026. And Russia-Ukraine peace deal can definitely be very bearish for crude oil, as some sanctions can be taken off of Russia, and there will be more crude oil added to the global market, where there's already an ample global supply that is expected, at least. So news are critical, and no clear direction currently, and too much uncertainty. So no trades for me for crude oil. Now for wheat, it's basically a continuation of the downtrend. Volatility is low. There's no reason for the price to increase. Only reasons for the price to decrease, they are ample global supply and the Russia-Ukraine peace deal, because Russia and Ukraine account for 25 or I think 30% of the total wheat exported to the world. So a peace deal obviously is gonna ease any supply constraints that that are currently present due to the situation there. These are critical and no clear opportunity, in my opinion, because there's also low volatility. Last but not least is soybean. Price is falling. Now there's no clear trends. Volatility is low. There's absolutely no reason for the price to increase, because all of the reasons are on the other side. So there's a low demand for US soybeans. China did not purchase the agreed upon quantity. And in Brazil, they're expecting a pretty big harvest, which will be pretty competitive to US soybean. So this is why soybeans has been just dropping down like crazy nonstop. News are pretty critical, but again, no clear opportunity, volatility is low, and so nothing really else to kind of be done over here. Now let's go over and look at the graphs and kind of talk about what can possibly happen for the metals, and look at a few other things as well. So this is what we currently have for gold. So basically, this whole massive uptrend started on this day, Friday, August 22nd. There was a speech by Powell where they basically said they're expecting some rate cuts by the end of the year. And as we know, rate cuts are very bullish for metals and for gold specifically. Price just kind of kept going up and up and up and up. Then we had a little bit of a pullback, take profit here, and maybe a few more things in between. But right now we have some more renewed data for the month of November, some CPI numbers, PCE numbers, and inflation is going down. So basically, all the things you want to see to be able to lower rates. And as a result, gold has been going up and up and up, and it's gonna almost hit an all-time high. Probably by the end of the year, it will probably hit a all-time high. Same thing for silver, which has just today, hit another all-time high. It's been going up and up exactly like gold since August 22nd, as you can see over here. So very similar behavior, and there's a lot of demand for these metals, especially if the dollar is gonna start going down. Then more people will probably be putting money in inflation or in safe haven metals like gold and silver. Now, copper is a bit different. It's definitely a more industrial metal, even though it's been going up as well for quite a while. Now, for different reasons, of course, it's some of them are kind of the same, but there is a lot of demand because there are some major mine disruptions which are scheduled to be resolved sometimes in 2027. Some of them, so it's a long, right? So it's a long time from now, and we have interest rate cuts which are bullish, and obviously we have the old AI situation where copper is obviously being used a lot in data centers, so that's a pretty big deal, and as well some tariffs concerns for U.S. companies because I think the Trump administration mentioned that they might be looking at revisiting copper tariffs in the middle of the year, and therefore U.S. companies want to buy and stockpile as much copper as they can before something might happen, right? So this adds to the buying pressure more and more, and prices being basically just going up slowly but surely day after day. So, and obviously I have a short put position on copper as a result. So this is the reasons why in 2026 we're probably going to see way more of what is already happening. There might be some corrections, or the price might be just gonna be going sideways for a while, but there's no reason for the price to change direction, not for copper, not for silver, and not for gold. It might be a temporary pullback, like I said, or a side trend, but things are very bullish as long as the rate cuts are going to be, the odds for the rate cuts are going to keep staying the same or increasing. Things are going to be very bullish in 2026 for these three metals. Now, soybeans, like we talked about, has been dropping like crazy. Basically, the market priced in on November, or was it? Actually, it was Thursday, the 23rd, when the two representatives from the U.S. and China have met, and they said we'll get some kind of deal done with the grains. Then obviously we had Trump and President Xi meeting, and price kind of kept going up and up, pricing in a lot of Chinese purchases, which obviously what they agreed upon, but China ended up not purchasing as much as they, I guess, promised or agreed upon, and prices as a result has been going down. So pretty crazy. A lot of people went longs, some people made money, and a lot of people are losing money on the downside right now because prices just keeps on dropping absolutely non-stop to the downside. So this is it for the most part for the weekly update. The ES is getting closer to maybe an all-time high as well. Who knows? Might happen by the end of the year or not. But things are looking, pretty easy to understand so far. This month. So we'll see what's going to happen next week and go from there. So happy holidays, everyone, and I will catch you in the next one.